Alright, welcome back to another video. Today is Monday, and yesterday, on a Sunday morning, we had a pivot breakdown, and it's the one in the middle of the corn. So we thought, you know, it's a Sunday, we'll wait till Monday to fix it. And I guess it was a good thing because we even got some rain last night, so that is good. So we're gonna go to the farm, we're gonna go fix that pivot, and we're gonna go check to see how much rain we got. Perfect. Looks like we got another 6/10. Nice. Love it. I always appreciate some rain. My brother already got the tire we're gonna need to fix the pivot, so I'm gonna bring with four-wheeler. It's gonna hook up this four-wheeler trailer real quick. And from what he looked like yesterday, I don't think there's gonna be a gearbox out, which if there was, that would suck, especially among corn. But I think it is just the tire. And here at the corn, what? Am I seeing that correctly? What? I'm okay with that. That at the barn was 6/10, and then now here we got 2 3/4 of an inch. That's, I love it. Yes, I love it. Almost wanted to keep that in there. Almost didn't want to throw that away. It can't be right. What? There's not even. Usually there's like a big old puddle here and everything. Well, I mean, you could tell that it washed a little ways, but usually there's way bigger puddle. 2 3/4 of an inch? You serious? That's awesome. I love it. I'm super happy about that. And also the reason why I brought the four-wheeler, we also had 3 more pivots that turned off 2 miles down the road. So if there's 2 3/4 of an inch here, I hope there's at least like 2 3/4 of an inch, or at least 2 inches over there. That would be nice. That would. It's when pivots turn off, it's usually it's common courtesy that it at least rains, or it should. Like if you're gonna turn off my pivot, at least let it rain a little bit, just that way it didn't turn off for nothing. But all jokes aside, we needed this rain, and I am so glad we got it. This was awesome. We didn't really get much in town. I didn't really get much even at my house, but here on the farm where we needed it the most, I'm glad we got it. This was very, very nice. But with 2 3/4 of an inch going to the middle of that cornfield, it's gonna be muddy and it's gonna be dirty, which is fine. But we're doing this in the morning instead of at lunch or after lunch, where it's gonna be 100 degrees again. We're doing this now while it's actually 71 degrees. So I would rather fix it today morning than I would, you know, in the afternoon or something. So we'll see how it'll go today. It'll be messy. It might take a while because we're not really driving among the corn to fix it. We just have to bring everything there. We have to roll the tire out there. It's gonna be a lot of work. Good thing there's a valley track to walk along. Well, we got all of our gear now here, and looks like we got a couple of U-joints off. I don't know, that one might be off too, but this one right here is for sure broken right there. Got a little bit of water puddling, still draining the pit from the pivot, but that tire is gone. I guess whenever we silage it, we'll just have to tell the silage cutters that on tower number 8, there's somewhere along there is a tire. So just to be on the lookout for it. So not just to jack up that side's dug in pretty deep. We'll jack up that side and fix that tire. Yeah, it definitely dug himself into quite the hole. But it's not too hard to fix. This looks like it'll be pretty easy. Just the one U-joint. This one here looks fine. If I try to move it.
Well, not quite easy, more just simple.
This is true. Yeah, we're good on that side too. I just hope it's not going to be a gearbox. All right, unscrew it. You got the impact. You even have it on the high power?
Yeah, I do.
No, oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
That looked like number 2 for me. How do your battery might be dead?
Yeah, it's got 2 bars.
About to say, did you at least make sure you brought a full battery?
The other impact has got a full battery.
And you gotta walk all the way back just to get another battery.
That would suck.
I would make you walk back. I'm not doing that just for your battery. That was your mistake. There, it's loose. You can pull it off now. There you go. Yeah, looks like the inner tube came with. That sucker's not stuck in the middle of the field. Wrapped itself nicely around there. Very nice. Flag it.
There you go.
You're not gonna be able to turn that, bro. You have to turn that there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you figured it out after I told you, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Hold on, I wanted to put this sucker on there a little more. Yeah. Because there's a lot of dirt behind there.
Yep.
Tighten that one a little bit. Okay, now we're just gonna gotta hit that side so we can get all the other bolts on there. There might be a little bit of dirt behind there. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Oh, I can get this one on there now. It's very humid in here. At least it's not hot.
Yeah.
That's one good thing.
That's a good thing.
Let me get these 2 on there. Then tighten the bottom ones first. Not too bad. I'll do the top ones first. Not too bad. Tires on there. Now just to put the U-joints back on here. And my brother was already saying, it looks like it didn't even break anything. It just kind of popped out of there. I guess with enough pulling force, it just ended up popping right out of there. So hopefully we can just reuse all the U-joints there. We don't have to actually put new ones on there. And that'll be one good thing. But I'm gonna take my bumper jack off of here. I'll bring that back to my truck. And we'll turn this pivot on and see if it runs. We'll see if that gearbox runs or not. I would like to try to turn it, but we don't have any tools with to manually turn this. So we'll have to just go to the pivot and turn it on manually. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we have to bring a gearbox out here or not. Let's fingers crossed. Let's hope we don't have to. And my brother couldn't get the U-joint off with his impact. It's all a little bit rusted on there, so I'm gonna bring my grinder out there to cut it off. And I need this guy too. And then I'll also bring with a hammer, just in case. Well, it would have been nice to know I didn't need to bring the grinder after all, but I
going.
Yeah, but I guess the corn is blocking all your cell service.
Yeah.
But really, I at least brought the grinder. It's nice to bring it here just that we can grind that a little bit flat. There's always a little bit of rust there for these guys to go snugly over there. It's nice if that's nice and square, not all rusted. But we're just gonna reuse the same ones. We just got to have all new bolts since you broke all 4 of them.
I broke 3 of them.
Oh, you broke 3 of them. Oh well. At least there's light out at the end of the tunnel. You saved 1.
I saved
a whole dollar. You saved.
$1. That's what it said. I think it's like a solid 2 cents.
Safety swims. I'll tell you what, these 90-degree impacts, they're perfect for replacing U-joints. It's always so hard to get to, especially if there's already a tire on there. You can get to it no matter which direction it's facing. I love those things. We use them all the time. What?
Not Makita, Milwaukee. Tony Milwaukee.
Yeah, we don't talk about Makita on this farm. It's Milwaukee only. Milwaukee live or die. Well, we're done here. That inner tube can just ride along there for a while. I don't feel like bringing that to the end, but we'll take the rim, and then we gotta take all of our tools back with too. And we're done. Not too bad for walking. Oh, what is that? Maybe 500 yards? 400 yards maybe? Not too bad. Hey Adrian, what time did we start today morning? Was it like 8:20? 8:30? Or was it 8? Or do you not remember? Or are you busy holding a rim? Is it heavy? Or is it in awkward angle to hold it?
Both.
Woo! At least it wasn't. At least the tire wasn't left on, and you had to roll it back this way.
If I had to roll it back, I would probably just left it in the middle of the field.
Hey, what time did we start today morning? Was it 8:30?
7:30?
Not 7:30.
I was here like 7:40.
Then I was here like at 8, because I was here a little bit after you, because I went and got the 4-wheeler. Yeah, we started at 8, so it took us only an hour to fix this. So not bad for walking that far. Only an hour. I thought for sure it was gonna take us like an hour and a half.
If it was peanuts, would probably take like 10 minutes.
Yeah, if it was peanuts, we would have taken 10 minutes. We would have just backed onto the field and boom, done. Slapped it on there, and then
yeah, forget the bolts, just slap it on there.
Yeah, forget the bolts, just slap it on there and good to go. All right, I'm gonna take the 4-wheeler. I'll drive to the pivot, and then I'll turn it on. If you want to walk that way and make sure it's running, and then after it's running good, then I'll turn the water on. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right. You at the tower yet? All right, I'm putting it on 100% reverse, so it might take a while before it finally dries, because the end tower is going to dry first. When the pivot has an alignment fault, I have to hold the override button and the on button at the same time, and I have it set to reverse. So that way it forces it, because when it has an alignment fault, it doesn't want to do anything by itself. It doesn't like to. So you got to manually override it until it's nice and straight, till there's no codes that it's technically giving itself. Once it's straight, then it'll drive by itself, and I don't have to keep holding it over anymore. But since it was driving on forward, that tower that we were fixing, the 8th tower from the pivot, that one, it stayed behind. So now I'm going in reverse. The last 8 towers are now driving reverse and catching up, and once it's straight, we should be good to go. Earlier we moved that shaft a little bit, and we could turn that gearbox a little bit, so I don't think it's out. I think we'll be fine. So Good thing we don't have to fix the gearbox today. That would not be fun. I would not be game with that. But after this, I'm gonna go turn on 3 more pivots. Yeah, it did rain over 2.5 inches, but it's been so dry and hot lately that now we're just playing catch up. Like, for how much it rained, there's not really that many puddles anywhere. Like, you can tell it washed out a little bit, but like the ground and everything is nice and wet, but there's not really that many puddles. But there's a few, but not as many as you would think. I guess because it rained a little bit slower and it all ended up soaking into the ground. So the way I look at it, we're playing catch up now a little bit. It's not going to help a whole lot, but it's going to help out a little bit, especially on the corn. The corn can use it now that it's making a lot of seed. Corn can use it regardless. But there's one peanut field that one also turned off. I'm just going to turn that one back on while I'm at it. Let me guess, you sprained your ankle.
Yep, that's pretty bad on this time too.
What's new? Your thing on the farm is you sprain ankles, and my thing is I always get a flat tire for some reason.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it is on the farm. I'm always getting flats. On my red Duramax that I have, I put not too long ago I put brand new tires on there because the old ones were all worn out. I drove for a day, and then the next day I got a flat tire. A nail poked right in the center of that tire. I was not very happy with that, so I had to go back to the tire shop, have them put a patch on it. So brand new tire and already had a patch. Not a fun time.
Yeah, we're driving.
Perfect. Guess I'll turn the water on and drive around all these wells to make sure they're all working.
Sounds good. I'll stick on the rest of it.
Perfect. 1 pivot down, 3 to go. All right, we fixed that tire last time. We should pick that up while we're at it. Well, all the wells except 3 of them were working. Well, the other 3, they're still working. They just need an 8-pin relay. I guess an 8-pin relay might have burnt out, I guess, on them from lightning, maybe. That's my guess. So right now I just have them running on hand. That way they're still pumping water. They're just not on auto. So when the pivot turns off, the wells are not going to turn off. The wells are going to continue pumping. So we just got to get a new 8-pin relay, pop a new one in there, and put the well back up on hand, so then we should be good to go. But right now I'm going to head to those other 3 fields. Looks like you found all the mud puddles without me. And he almost got stuck. Imagine if I had to go pull you out yet. That would be even funnier.
That's the thing, I did not want to call you. that would have been even worse.
Well, I need my electrical bag. I'm gonna see what's wrong with this pivot. My brother's gonna turn on all the water, and this pivot just shows it's not connected. If I go into the field net box, oh well, now it's okay. Well, there's nothing, should be nothing wrong with it. When I was going into the app, it was saying that that the box wasn't connected at all. Well, it's flashing, so let's try overriding it again. It's not doing anything. Looks like it might have. What is it doing? Let's try stop first. Now let's try. No. What's it doing? It's being weird. I don't know, electricity might have killed it or something. I've never had that happen before. Let's check a couple of fuses real quick. In here there's a bunch of little fuses that I can get to. Let's see, I need this one. I'm gonna check all these fuses, the ones on top, all those right there. Check all of them. Sometimes one of those little fuses can be out, and that's what can cause it to be weird, because the pivot was working fine. The electricity, I just turned it off, or the lightning had turned it off, turned the electricity off, so maybe the lightning just caused it to be weird. I don't know, because it never had an alignment fault, it never broke down or anything, so I know there's not a motor out or a center drive or anything. So I think it's just something in these panel boxes. Well, there's just not full volts. The panel box has enough volts to make that box, the field net box, light up, but doesn't have enough volts to turn the pivot on. So this pivot gets electricity from that well right there, and that well takes electricity from the power line outside of the field. And there might be a couple of overhead fuses out. There could be one out because one wire didn't have any electricity, so I'm gonna go to that power line first, and then if everything checks out fine there, then I'll go here to this well and see if I can figure out the issue. Well, all the overhead fuses look fine. Everything, all the wires and everything looks fine too. So that's not the problem. So then I will go right here to this panel box, and I'll see if I can figure out an issue here. Well, I don't think it's the overhead fuses, because this side the meter is out, or it's not on, and then this side it's on. It's doing stuff, right? So I don't know. If that side has electricity and this side doesn't, I'm assuming it might just be the meter that's out. So we'll see. We'll call the county and tell them to come over here and take a look at it. They might just, I think it's the meter, because if the other side was off too, then there probably would be an overhead fuse that was just burnt out. But since one side is on and one side is off, makes you think it might just be the meter that's out. But we'll still turn on all the wells regardless. We'll just have that valve closed at that pivot, and then we'll turn the rest on later maybe. And then for now we'll just turn on the other two pivots. So we started driving the wells around, turning them on, and then we realized this side doesn't have electricity either, so there has to be something wrong up there. Because of that, now the wells for this field and for that field aren't working, so half of the wells on this section aren't working. So we'll just turn it on later whenever the electricity comes out and fixes whatever is wrong. That must be, I don't know, maybe a transformer, I don't even know, because the fuses look fine. It might still be a fuse, you never know, but well, we don't know what's wrong until the electricity company comes out here and takes a look at it and does their diagnostics on it. But for now, we'll just turn these pivots back on. Hopefully by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, we'll see what happens. But next on the list, because it rained, we actually want to start disking around the fields. We already disked once, but way back when it was dry. And now we want to do it again. As you can see, quite a few weeds are popping up at the edge of the field. So we want to disc it all outside of the field. Then we're going to want to come back, hopefully tomorrow. We want to plant some winter wheat, just some wheat around the edge of the field to give it a nice little cover crop, or cover, to keep it from blowing throughout the winter. Electricity company was just barely out here. All three fuses were apparently burnt out, but they hadn't kicked out yet. But apparently they were burnt out. And our meter base is shot. It is roasted. So we're definitely gonna need to get a new one. Gonna have to replace that, and then have to call them back out again once we got it replaced. Get them to reconnect the wires up there, and then we should be good to go. And so I guess I'll just have to wait with turning on these three pivots till tomorrow, after we get all this fixed and done. So that'll be a tomorrow thing. It rained here good. It only rained 1.5 inches over here, so a little less than the other field down the road, but it's still enough to where we can wait a day or two. Hopefully, there's a couple of chances of rain for tonight, so hopefully tonight it'll rain again. And if it does, then, you know, even better. So as for now, I guess I do appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all guys in the next one.